What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Dinobot SNARL, as he appeared in the 1986 Transformers the movie. But this is one that I was probably most looking forward to. As a huge Transformer fan, as a huge dinosaur fan, and as a Stegosaurus, SNARL was destined to be my favorite Dinobot. And I am super excited that we are getting a essentially masterpiece style version of him, despite all the back and forth about him not really being in the movie. Even though, yeah, you can see him at least 3 spots. For the package, though, you do have that plastic-free packaging, which means no window. But you get great art right here with SNARL actually using his tail lasers and everything, and he's fighting off the Decepticons. This really does look like the scene in which we do primarily see him, which was right after all the Autobots on Autobot City get a message about Unicron destroying the moon bases. So I like that there's that homage there about where he is seen. I think that's really cool. Of course, you got that very nice Transformers text with the Generation logo, Transformers the movie. And then when you come around to the side, you got an up-close image of his cute little face. Come around to the other side here, and you have another up-close image of him, but his mouth is open. And then you take a look at the top, Transformers the movie. When you come around to the back of the box, you can see that he transforms in 31 steps. Of course, you got images of him in his robot and Stegosaurus mode, and then you got, of course, the backdrop that he normally comes with. And then again, it says, SNARL and the Autobots must find a way to destroy Unicron before Cybertron is devoured. So again, a reference to basically where you can see him in the film. We all know that all 4 of the other ones are very prominent, so there was question at first if we would get this guy in the Studio Series line, and I'm super happy that we are. But for the packaging on him, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Snarly Cakes. Dinobot SNARL in his Stegosaurus mode. And I absolutely love every aspect of this. There is nothing on here that I don't like. You might as well just stop watching the video entirely, because I don't have a single complaint that I can think of with this guy. I have seen other people that have complained about the yellowish, mustardy color of his back legs, his front legs, and then even his head. And why, oh why, could they have not been painted gold like all of this? When in reality, he's just as good as all those other Dinobots. They just don't have these yellow bits on them. So, then why couldn't they have painted that gold? Because they painted all of this gold. There's a lot of gold on this guy. Probably as much as those other Dinobots. And then some people have talked about the kind of like squat nature of him. This is exactly how he looked in the cartoon for the most part. Sometimes he would be more elongated like a real Stegosaurus. And some people will sit there and say that this is a anatomically correct Stegosaurus. And none of those people have any idea what they're talking about. The best thing that I can describe this as, this is how he looked in the majority of the time. And his G1 toy looked like this. So again, it's not something that I fault the designers of whatsoever. Looking at the detail throughout it, you can see a lot of molded in attention to detail. A lot of paint applications in there. You got like this little black set. Like for example, this is black, but then you got a little glossy black paint thrown right there. You got some blue paint added in there. Come around to the top, you can see some extra little red bits. A lot of molded in detail as well. I like the fact that they got the Autobot logo right there on his head, which is exactly where I would expect it. Even when you come around to the back, you can see all that detail is still present on this guy. Come around here to the bottom, you can see that he does have a sword. One thing that's very nice about him, as opposed to a lot of the other, I mean, his gapping is here. That's basically where his knees are going to be. There's not really much you can do about that, honestly. So it's not something that bothers me. All the other Dinobots have some kind of weird gapping thing going on, so we're fairly used to it. He does come with a sword, though, and that's one thing that people have criticized with the other Dinobots. But in the film, again, they all used guns. They did not use their swords. The swords were something that they used in the original G1 cartoon. Now, because we only saw him, as far as I know, 3 different times, I'm going to put pictures right over there where you can see the different times that he actually appeared. 2 of them is when he's in his dinosaur mode, and 1 is when he's in the Quintesson ship there. So they needed to give him a weapon, so I like the fact that they actually went with something that is more associated with him, that being a sword. Now, could they have done that with the other Dinobots? Sure. But again, they chose to go with the movie aesthetic. Now, we got to do the comparison. First off, the leader of the Dinobots, here we have Grimlock. Of course, Grimlock is a little bit taller, so let's angle things up a little bit. The Dinobot with the attitude, here we have Snarl or Slag, whatever you want to call him. Either way, it's, a Triceratops. And the dim-witted Brontosaurus, there we have Sludge. And again, all of these look absolutely terrific together. I mean, what a great lineup. Literally, we're missing just one, and that's going to be Swoop. But like I was talking about, there's a lot of gold. I mean, you can see a lot of gold on here, a lot of gold on there. It matches with probably the same amount of gold that's on the tail here and the different spikes. But again, you don't see any of that yellow like he has. If they painted all that gold, that would probably go over the budget for him, honestly. We have Sludge here. Sludge definitely has some gold in some areas. Not nearly as much as well. And then, of course, Grimlock. You got a lot of gold here in his chest, his claws, his neck section here. Yes, I did take that off because it looks better with it off. But the gold doesn't bother me whatsoever. Or I should specifically say, the yellow doesn't bother me whatsoever. Budget-wise, I feel like it's on par. But look how good these guys look. I mean, we've gotten other third-party companies that have given us, masterpiece-style Dinobots. I've been a big fan of those for as long as I can remember, but getting officially licensed versions of the Dinobots here, absolutely wonderful for me. And with us getting Swoop later on this year, I cannot really believe it. These are the Dinobots that we've wanted, at least me, I've wanted since I was a kid. Now, in terms of his articulation, the head doesn't do anything. It's like that. It doesn't hinge up and down, doesn't rotate. It's static. It's locked there. Doesn't bother me really at all. You can open his mouth, which I do like. You got some nice little detail sculpted in the inside there as well. The arms here in the front, these are on little ball joints, so you can kind of angle these a little bit right there, and then you can, of course, rotate them around. Very stiff joints, which I like. And then you have the foot or knee, I guess you could kind of say. Same thing here on this side. These are obviously going to become his arms in robot mode, and you've got a hinge going on. You can angle that out if you wanted to, but you got that. You got this section down here. When you do move that around, it kind of breaks up the sculpt, and then you have the foot, which kind of just sits there as well. But realistically, you're going to want to just keep them like that, so it looks kind of like a natural standing pose. There's also, when you get it done right, a very little bit of clearance with the tail, so that's not rubbing on the ground, which I like as well. And of course you got the little spikes there, which is super fun. In general, like I said, I literally cannot think of anything that I don't like on this figure. Stegosaurus mode, I think, just absolutely nails the look of him. It is not a realistic look for a Stegosaurus. Like I said, contrary to what, some early reviewers of this kind of talked about, it doesn't look like a Stegosaurus by all scientific kind of standards, I guess. But it does look like Snarl from the cartoon, which I appreciate. Now, for the transformation, first what you're going to want to do, you're going to come around here to this back section, detach that, just kind of fold that around, get that out of the way. I'm going to also bring these legs out of the way, just to, again, have a little bit of extra space. Come around here to the bottom section. You can take this. This is going to separate, and this will rotate all the way out. Then you come around here. You also then want to detach this chest piece from these little silver bits underneath there. So just kind of pull that out, and then you can, it's kind of tricky to get in there, but once you get that, then pull this all the way down, and then you can rotate this around. You got that little sliding joint right there. Go ahead and split these legs right down the middle, and then you can start putting all this stuff away. And this is actually really cool. First, you're going to pull this away. It detaches from a little post inside there, and then rotate the head down just like that. Then bring that back up, and then lock that back into place. Then you can straighten out the leg all the way. Do that on this side as well. So again, pull this piece forward, rotate the head down and in, and then bring this back, and that will lock into place, and then fold this all the way down. Now, one thing that's very crucial, you can kind of see how there's a little slide thing in here. You want to make sure that when you go into beast mode, it's like this, but for robot mode, that slides back out. So just kind of push this section outward, and you will get that nice and straight. And come around here to the back. These back legs are going to detach and then fold up, and rotate these around. As you rotate them around, you can then bring them down like that, and they're going to sit on the inside there. Get that kind of flush. It'll sit like that, and then you can take this section, close that, and then this will, let's see, this is going to slot inside here, just like so. There we go. Nice and secure. Then fold the foot out. So again, come around to this side. This piece here will detach from the main portion of the leg. Fold that up, rotate that around, and then this comes down, just like that. And then this section here is going to rotate around and in. Keep that in there. There you go. Collapse all that, and fold the foot, just like so. And now you can bring the legs down, kind of straighten those out like that. Get that all situated. There you go. Keep the hips in the proper sort of alignment, and then take this entire assembly, rotate this around, and then you want to collapse it down on itself. So just give that a nice push. You can rotate these arms around, again, getting these kind of out of the way. Oops, want that detached. But rotate that around, just like so. And then come around here to the side bits here. You want to pull this whole section away, and then this will come all the way back, and that will lock into place there. And continue to rotate that around. Then come around here to the underside. This is a little bit tricky to do because the fist fold in there, but pull that out and then put that there. Rotate this, and then this is going to hinge in, and then this folds up along the back. It's like that. Fold that down. Do that on this side. This already detached, so just kind of fold that all the way down. Lock that into place. Rotate that all the way around, and then again fold the fist out from inside there. And it's a little bit tricky to do just because for mine it's fairly stiff, so it is a little bit tricky. So let's see here, I got that. We're gonna put that there, and then maybe fold this out. There we go. Fold that out like that. What's going on? Oh, it rotated, that's why. So fold that out. That'll sit there. Fold this in, rotate that around, collapse that in, just like so. And again, straighten out these arms, just kind of align everything. Come around to the back. Go ahead and split the tail. Now, you do have some little tabs on the inside here that slot in. They just kind of sit there, though. And I'm glad that it's like that because I don't want it to damage the paint on there. Realistically, you don't need to push it all the way in, but it does collapse all the way forward. When you have that open, then you come around here to the back and push up his head, revealing that, and then this is going to collapse down. This section here will tab into place, and then fold this up. That will also tab into place. And when you're done, there you have an incredibly accurate and absolutely gorgeous representation of Snarl as he appeared in the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon and 1986 movie. And just like that, my favorite Dinobot is my new favorite Dinobot figure. This guy is fantastic. Everything about him, like I said, is exactly what I would want in a Snarl figure. As you can see, you can have him hold his sword, which, again, I like that they come with. I mean, I do get the general complaint about not getting the swords with the other Dinobots. It doesn't bother me, not really that much. But this is really very cool. Everybody keeps talking about how it's a softer material. Doesn't really bother me that much. You can come around to the back. You got a little port right here. If you wanted to, you can set that there, kind of as weapon storage. It is fairly loose, though. It legit just like kind of just whoop, slides in there very easily. But you do have weapon storage. So that's, you know, nice that they do it. But overall, like I said, I love the way that this guy looks. That head sculpt is fan-freaking-tastic. Look at that. Look at his head. Look at his head. I mean, that is a super cute head. I love it. Absolutely amazing. Now coming back and you know what? I always forget that my camera messes up whenever I zoom in and stuff like that. But well, maybe it's a little bit better. I don't know. But I mean, I absolutely love it. I like the Autobot logo there. He's got this little target thing right here. I should stay in for the details. I mean, there's a lot of great details throughout the entire thing. The chest has some great detail. You can see the arms have great detail. Come on to the back. Even the back section has an amazing amount of detail. Like these bits right here, almost kind of making it look like wings. That looks really sharp. All the detail, I mean, his butt's got detail. I mean, he's got a detailed butt. I mean, the only part that... Alright, if I'm going to complain about something, it's going to be this. Does it bother me, realistically? No. I don't care about it. But I guess that's a negative for it. But just everything else on him is so damn good that I don't care. Now, let's do some comparisons. Of course, the leader of the Dinobots. Here we have Grimlock. Getting him set off to the side a little. Everybody's favorite, I can't figure out what to call him, Dinobot. Here we have Slug Slag. And then, of course, the dim-witted Brontosaurus, otherwise known as Sludge. And, you know, I always kind of find it funny that Stegosauruses, I don't know, when I was young... One thing that really kind of made a Stegosaurus kind of stand out was everybody would always talk about how small his brain was, that it's basically the size of a walnut or something. And obviously, Sludge, as kind of being the biggest of the dinosaurs, would probably have the biggest brain, but he was always kind of like the dumbest. That's so funny to me, but look how great these guys look! And then you're gonna have like little baby Swoop right here, because Swoop was smaller, so I mean, like maybe like... that size? I don't know. I mean, here's Cheetor. I mean, Cheetor is a Voyager, maybe? Although, realistically, I think he's still going to be a bigger Dinobot, but I'm hoping that at that leader price point, which I do believe he's going to sell at, he'll probably come with a flight stand. But I do think that, you know, figure-wise, he's going to be about this size, would be my guess. Maybe a little bit bigger, so maybe a larger Voyager, but definitely not leader like the rest of these guys actually are. But again, I think that's just going to come down to the fact that I'm hoping that they do include something like a flight stand, which would be super awesome. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, a real good ball joint. Get a lot of range of motion with it. A lot of ratchet joints on this guy. The forward and back, in and out, is a nice, smooth, just hinge joint, but you do hear the ratchet joint there. You do have an elbow joint. I guess, again, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a thin elbow right there compared to that. So I guess maybe that's a complaint. I guess, I don't know. You have a rotation right there. The wrists do also rotate, come around here to the waist. As you can see, as part of the transformation, you do have a swivel. The hips do move forward and back on nice ratchet joints as well. And one thing I like about it is, like, these ratchet joints are perfectly spaced. So I can get him to stand very nicely. The other ones, you have to kind of angle everything back and then move that. And it's like, I don't want their legs to constantly be, like, bent like that, which is weird. So you can keep that forward, and it's perfectly balanced, which I think is really very cool. You do have a rotation at the upper part of the thigh. You do have ratchet joints as well for the knees, which is nice to see. The ankles coming down to the toes, you do have toe kind of posing. It's just kind of part of the transformation. And then the ankles kind of detach right there. Oh, did I just pull that whole thing apart? No, I don't want that to detach. But, oh, well, yeah, there we go. Oh, did I not connect that? What's going on here? No, yeah, that's just two separate halves. So you can do that. I just didn't do that. But you can get a good wide pose with them. It does create like a little gapping sort of thing. But look, even underneath here, there's nice detail added in. So in general, like I said, I absolutely love the way that this figure turned out. I could not be happier with him. He's my favorite. And in terms of the character, the dinosaur, and now the toy. This is a home run, in my opinion. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class SNARL. If you'd like to add this guy to your collection or any of the other Studio Series Transformers, you can do so online at places like Big Bad Toy Store or even Entertainment Earth. For both of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where you can swing on over there and check out availability on them, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. Also, as a special bonus for all of you viewers of mine, I've worked out a special deal with the folks at Entertainment Earth, that if you do decide to click on that link to head on over there, in addition to being able to get free shipping on orders over a certain amount, any orders of figures that you place that are in stock will automatically get you a 10% discount, helping to help you save some money and at the same time show your support for my channel. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. As always, I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. And until next time, this is Optibotimus saying adios, au revoir, and auf Wiedersehen.